Hey guys, welcome to my second video focusing on the newly released rumor about Zelda Wii U. In the prior episode, we went over the exact reason that Zelda Wii U was delayed and the source of the rumor. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on the dungeon layout as it's quite different from dungeons that we've seen in past Zelda games. It seems Nintendo's working on a brand new system mechanic for the way the dungeons are explored. Here's what the post says about the dungeons. The game was on track to have around 20 full-sized dungeons, about 12 for the main story, and the rest being side dungeons. Not all dungeons were completed by the time of beta testing. The dungeons were designed so that while the dungeon item will be most useful in the dungeon it's found in, it will also come in handy in other dungeons as well. Depending on which items you have in your possession, some dungeons gave you different paths you could take to complete them depending on which route you took and which doors you chose to unlock, as we would encounter more locked doors than we had keys. However, upon completing quests for the local villages, we would unlock more keys as well as other items that could be used to explore further in each dungeon. Depending on the original route we take in the dungeon, we may encounter a second or third mini-boss that drops items such as heart pieces or other rare items. The side dungeons, unlike past Zelda games, would also have their own mini-bosses and bosses. However, the items found within these dungeons would be more useful than other dungeons, usually being an item we can use to power up another item that we already have. The overall story of the game was good, like most Zelda games. It had a huge emphasis on time travel. As rehashed as the ideal was, it benefited gameplay a lot. Between traveling from the past to the future, towns, villages, landmarks, even the dungeons would change. If we head to an already completed dungeon in the future, we would find either a new boss or a battle-wounded but stronger original boss. If we head to the past and go inside a dungeon, we may find a younger but more aggressive boss. In both cases, the boss defended more and did a great more damage than the original. It then goes on to talk about the story, but it comes back to dungeons, saying each of the first 3 dungeons will hold one of 3 time shift stones. After getting one stone, we were able to slow down time or speed it up for short periods, which helps during quests, which we also seen in the Game Awards trailer. After receiving 2, we were able to stop time for short periods, and after collecting all 3, we are able to time travel between the future and the present, and in doing so opens up the rest of the dungeons for exploration. All dungeons can be completed in the past and the future, though to progress the story some require to be completed in the past, before the village is destroyed in the future. Doing so saves the village from being destroyed and opens up even more side quests from the village.